Greetings, friends, and welcome to my Bismarck Extreme Guide. This encounter has 3 phases, requires good DPS, and has a hard enrage. I will go into each of the mechanics as we make our way through the phases. I'm sure there are other strategies that work just as well, but these are the ones we learned as a group to best suit our playstyle and composition. Alright, let's get started. In Phase 1, the first thing that will happen is Bismarck will ram the ship, reducing the island integrity a little bit. The island integrity is essentially the enrage, and once it reaches 0, Bismarck will wipe the group. You will have plenty of time to complete the fight before that happens though. In this phase, 2 adds will spawn, a melee and ranged owl. Save all your bursts for later, don't use cooldowns on these adds. Simply drag the melee over to the ranged, and just AoE them down. During this phase, Bismarck will attempt to ram the island again. To prevent this, activate the Magitech field generator in the middle of the island. This will put up a shield that blocks Bismarck's attack. Immediately following Bismarck's ram, a message will display saying the dragon killers are readied. We have our healers handle this. Simply click on the cannon. This will fire a grappling hook out and pull Bismarck to the island. Once he is close, you can jump on his back to DPS him. This is where you burn all your cooldowns. Ideally, you want to do this in one shot. If not, you will have to repeat this phase, which will result in more island integrity loss. Once you jump on Bismarck's back, you will be giving a stacking debuff that deals increasing damage with each application. This will matter in the last phase when you are attacking his back multiple times, so keep your eye on it and do not allow it to refresh by jumping back on too early. When Bismarck shakes, make sure to get off his back or else he will take you with him when he flies away. Once you destroy his carapace, he will fly away and this will transition you into Phase 2. In Phase 2, a green and blue dragon will spawn. These adds need to be tanked and pulled to the opposite sides of the island. If they are too close, they will tether, buffing each other. These adds do hit fairly hard with an instant cast magical cleave, so cooldowns will definitely be helpful here. The main mechanic of this phase is when the dragons cast Dead Water. This ability puts a debuff on the entire raid. You will either get a green or blue debuff. This indicates which dragon you have to attack. If you get the green debuff, simply attack the blue dragon. And if you get the blue debuff, simply attack the green dragon. The tanks will also get this, so a tank swap may be needed. Keep that in mind. If you attack the same color dragon as debuff you have, you will kill yourself. After Dead Water falls off, the dragons will cast it again. When they cast it again, nothing is different, just continue as normal. This part is a DPS check, and if the dragons aren't killed within roughly 2 minutes, Bismarck will wipe the raid. During this phase, really annoying tornadoes will be AoEs. Simply avoid these. Once one dragon dies, the debuff will fall off. There is a bug to where if you kill the dragons during the cast of Dead Water, the debuff will not fall off. So be sure to kill them either before or after the cast. After both dragons are dead, stack up in mid and get ready for Phase 3. During this phase, 3 owls will spawn, a big one and 2 little ones. We usually kill the big one first, but with different groups we focus the ranged one first, so either is fine. One tank needs to pick up the ranged, and the other tank needs to pick up the melee and the big. The main mechanic of this phase is the weather. The change in weather dictates what abilities Bismarck will use. There are 3 different weather patterns: cloudy with a brown tint, stormy with a purple tint, or clear with no tint. If it is cloudy, Bismarck will use a knockback ability and a donut ability, so this requires you to stack in mid, get pushed back, then restack in mid. If it is stormy, purple tint, then you need to stay spread out because he will cast a lightning attack. If it is clear, this requires you to clear out of the middle and stick to the edges. During this phase, bubbles will spawn. Unless the weather is stormy, purple tint, kill the bubbles. If the weather is stormy, leave them up because they will absorb some of the lightning damage. Dragon killers will become available throughout this phase. Treat them exactly the same in this phase as phase 1. Once Bismarck is pulled to the island, DPS his Corona, but remember to check your debuff so you do not refresh it. This phase will repeat itself until either you kill Bismarck or he destroys the island. On average, I think you have about 3 ad phases before he will bring the island integrity to 0, so you have some room for error. If you LB the Corona, make sure to do it immediately when jumping on his back because of the long animation. Well guys, that's all I got. I hope this guide was helpful and will lead to some sweet first clears.